Hello everybody, welcome to another Illustrator CS6 tutorial. Today we're going to learn about creating a new document, and we're going to go over some of the things in the new document window that I didn't go over when we first started out. That way you can know exactly what you're doing and everything, so you get a better experience in Illustrator. So let's go to File, and we're going to go to New. Here's the new document panel. You name your document, preferably something that's related to your document. And I'll just name this Start. And then we've got here Profile. Most of the time, it's going to be on whatever you used last. So we've got Web that's going on right here, right now. If I start changing things around in it, it's going to change the custom, and then you're able to use more things or you're able to use more of the options here. So let's start out with a number of artboards. Now you can select a number of artboards, and that's basically going to make like different pages within your document. And on each of these pages, you can have different images or vectors or whatever you're working on. So use this to make a number of artboards. And down here at the bottom, as you can see where my cursor is, down here in the bottom left, you can switch between the different artboards down here. To the right are some buttons here that are how your artboards are arranged. And this is grid by row, by column, arranged by row, arranged by column, and then change to right-left layout. So go ahead when you're messing with this after the tutorial, go ahead and check out these different buttons and see what they do for you. Now we've got the spacing here, and that's just the spacing between the columns and how many columns you've got here. So if I hold my cursor over top of this, we got number of artboards per row, and then this is the spacing between them, and it uses pixels. Size here, you can select from a bunch of sizes that you want that are preset, or you can come down here and type them in and you can get your custom sizes. So this size right here is like the size of some monitors, 1024 by 768. You can come over here and select the unit of measurement that you want to use. Most of the time you're going to want to use pixels, but if you're working on like a print document, you might want to use millimeters or inches or whatever the client decides that you need to use. So if he tells you that you need to make a billboard that is, or I mean a brochure that is, I don't know, I'm just going to say 20 inches long, then you're going to want to go ahead and use inches as your unit of measurement. That way you can figure out what you're doing. Now we've got orientation here, and this is portrait, and over here to the right is landscape. So one's going to be up and down, like the longest is going to be up and down, and the other one's going to be left to right. So that's you can see as it switches the width and the height there. Most of the time, you're going to want to be on the long one where the width is longer than the height, because that's how most computer screens are. They're longer in width than they are in height. The next thing we got here is the bleed. And what that is pretty much bleed allows you to run the artwork to the end of a page. And this is more for when you're doing work with print. Sometimes the printer doesn't print towards the end of the page, so you'll need to set these bleeds to what the printer specifies. I'll go down here to click on this little triangle button here to open up the advanced options. Color mode, we've got color modes are used depending on what you're using your document for. If you're trying to make something for printing on the internet or for use on the internet or in like a video, you're going to want to use RGB. So RGB stands for red, green, and blue. And that's one of the most common color modes, probably is the most common, and it's best for online and multimedia. So the next one that we can look at that's popular is CMYK. And what that is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And that's good, or that's the best for commercial printing. So like if you're printing out like a brochure again, or if you're working with photos, then you're going to want to use that CMYK. Most of the time you're not going to be working with photos in Illustrator, but that's just an example because you will be able to choose in Photoshop if you're going to be using that as well. We've got our raster effects going on here, and you're going to select the resolution for that. You have 3 resolutions, and the next one is the preview mode. We've got pixel or overpoint, so I'll go over these a little bit. So the default displays your artwork in vector view. Pixel displays the artwork with a rasterized look, and overprint displays it with an ink preview. So use those according to what you need to use or what you're doing. And we've got align new objects to the pixel grid. You can uncheck or check that if you want to. And now that we've gone over everything, I want to show you some cool things with the presets that we got going on here. So we've got these different presets. Web is new in CS6, Devices is new in CS6, and Flash Builder is new. And Flash Builder is pretty much a development tool, so you don't have to worry about that unless you know what you're actually, that you're actually using Flash Builder. So you'll know if you have to use that. Devices, I wanted to go to that. So we've got the size here is what I want to come to. You can see that it has Galaxy S, the Kindle Fire, iPhone, iPad. So now you don't have to guess the size of these anymore. You can see that this the resolution's already there, which is the width and the height. It's already there for you, which is really cool. Zoom. There's the Kindle Fire, or the Nook, which I think was something that Barnes & Noble came out with a long time ago. So that's just something I wanted to show you out. So we've got other things here. We got print, and that's for letter or legal paper. Web, you have a bunch of different preset sizes for things on the web for monitors. Video and film, if you're making stuff for video and film, then these have guides on them that you can use. Now I do a lot of work in video and film, so that's what I use most of the time. And then we've got our other two here, basic RGB, which you won't really use that much. So got letter, legal, and then tabloids and all that stuff in print. So I just wanted to show you those, and that's about it for this tutorial. And I hope you guys learned a lot about creating new documents, and now you understand this actual window here. When you're done and everything's all ready, you just hit OK, and then it brings up your new document that you wanted. So thanks a lot for watching this tutorial, everybody, and I hope you guys have a nice day and learned a lot.